Analysis paralysis is a real thing, and when you have conflict after conflict, tragedy after tragedy flashing across your phone, it can really shut you off, and you can feel yourself unwilling or unmotivated to doing anything within your capacity. And so what we learn from our tradition is to solve the problems within your capacity. I share a personal story often that when I was visiting the Syrian refugee camps at the Jordan-Syria border, I remember the way that I felt when I was actually in the midst of that refugee camp and helping out refugees. And then suddenly, once you drive out at the end of the night, you realize that the refugee camp keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and you can question yourself and say, well, what was the point of working for that 100? What was the point of serving those people if I missed all of these people? And it kind of reminded me of the prophetic tradition of the Prophet, peace be upon him, when he mentions trying to grab people from the waist belt, right? He's trying to grab as many people as he can. And that's obviously in the capacity of salvation, but for me it's just also in the capacity of just trying to help people. That sometimes you feel like you're trying to help as many people as you can, but you're only getting a few. What I would remind myself of is that God appreciates the little and the consistent, and you doing what's in your capacity, and that's what you're going to be asked about. And that you never know who you will help from the few that will go on to uplift their entire peoples. One of the most inspiring people that I met in the Syrian refugee camps was a young girl named Rahaf. I've spoken about her. She's 16 years old, and she had seen, well, she's not 16 anymore, but she had seen devastation that I could not even hear her speak of without being deeply disturbed, right, as a result of what she had seen. And she didn't want food. She wasn't interested in the handout. She was interested in going to school. She said, I want an education. I want an education. I want an education. Find me a way, get me a bus to the border of Jordan and Syria. And we, basically the relief agency had said, well, can you get a group of Syrian refugees that also are just as motivated to go to school as you, and that will be willing to make that long drive over to a school in Jordan every single day and forego the earnings of the day, because obviously, you work in the farms, you do what you can to make the earnings for a day for you and your family. She was able to get her group of friends together, and we provided a school bus for her.